Hi, it's Brittany from the Empurrium. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are making the Mr. Heckles from Sincerely Jen Patterns. I love this pattern. I made my first one the day the pattern came out, which I believe was like March 2nd or 3rd last year, and I have intended to do a tutorial for a long time. So here it is. I'm obsessed, okay? I used Chalkboard Roses vinyl, Sprite glitter vinyl, hopefully you can catch it, hot pink water resistant canvas, and then all my hardware. All of that is from Mormino. My webbing is from Georgia Girls Stitches, and I think that's it as far as materials go. I could have used a webbing that was Mormino, and this bag would have been like all Mormino. I should have done it, but it's so cute. This is the bag at 100%. There, Jenny has a video, I believe, for 110% and for 85%, and I own templates for 85%, so maybe you'll do like a live or something with that sometime. But you have the bag with these really cute connector for the crossbody, and also the connectors for the handles are really fun. On the back of the bag you have this like sneaky slip pocket. So like here's my phone. It's a nice little phone pocket, and then it has a recessed zipper, which I already opened it. The panel for it is so cute and tiny. I love it so much. And then inside you have a divided slip pocket and a zipper overlay zipper pocket. It's nice and roomy. My laptop will not fit in it, I don't think. I'm almost sure it won't, but that's what my iPad Pro looks like in it. So I have thought of making a 110% for myself to use as a laptop bag. We will see. But I hope you enjoy. I have a cutting video also available for this, and then I also have a wallet video for the vegetable wallet from Sincerely Jen that matches also. I hope you enjoy. Before we start sewing, we're going to go over all of the pieces. I tried to refresh myself because it's been so long since I cut it. We have the interior zipper and the exterior zipper. I've already cut them to the measurements given in the pattern. These are our upper lining pieces. We have our 4 pieces for the recessed zipper. They're so skinny. It's a tiny zipper. It's real cute. Okay. These are the pieces for our exterior back. So the exterior back bottom, exterior back top, and then these are the exterior slip pocket lining pieces. So those are what we'll actually be using first. We have our exterior and lining base pieces, and then we have our interior cargo pocket lining pieces, the 2 interior zipper pocket pieces with the zipper overlay. So I'm going to go ahead and put those together. All of these lining pieces. Here is our main lining pieces. I'm going to go ahead and put the upper lining pieces in with those. And then we can go ahead and put that lining base piece there. Okay. We have our 2 handle pieces. We have 4 strap connector pieces. And I'm really excited. This tag, I guess I already had it sitting in here, and it's the same one I picked for the wallet that matches this that I just sewed. I wasn't even thinking. I have my crossbody strap, and then I have all of my hardware. And okay, so for our side panels for the exterior, we have 2 of those and 2 accent pieces. and then we have the 2 pieces for the strap connectors. So when we get to those, and then we have our front exterior panel. So got everything kind of sorted out. Just gonna try to nicely put some of this back in. All right. So you can kind of start wherever you want to. Sometimes when I make bags, I like to prep a bunch of different pieces. I haven't made this one enough times yet to be like, oh, I really want to do this first, or, you know, vice versa. So we're just going to follow the pattern as it is written today. I know, so weird. All right, we're going to take the exterior back bottom, and then we have the exterior back top. My bad. It goes like this. Like that. Yes. All right, and we're going to put them right sides together. So we fold that down, and we're going to clip and then we need to make some marks. We have start and stop points that we need to sew this at. So I'm just going to measure those really quick. All right. And the measurements are given in the pattern. So, all right. So we're stitching these together. You're going to back stitch at the start and stop of each point, and then we're leaving an opening. And this is what's going to help us create a little sneaky slip pocket. So you can go ahead and trim your strings. Take these clips off. All right, so you have this unsewn section here. We are going to fold this seam down. So just do your best to fold that evenly. It should fold right where your interfacing is. All right, and then we're going to take one of these lining pieces, and you're going to center that to your sewing marks. Clip that on. So you have, I'll show you, you have that one piece of the seam folded down, and then you have this clipped only to this piece, and then we're going to stitch that on. Clip just went to the great beyond, aka the floor. Okay, so that is what that looks like. It's only stitched to the back there. Okay. Now we have this like this. We're going to flip it, and we're going to attach this piece here. Wait, hang on. Flip the exterior back bottom over. Sometimes I struggle here. Yes, like this. Okay, we have this up, and we have this like this. So you have this down. All right, everything is like this. But we want this folded down now. And we're going to stitch this piece here. Yes. Sometimes you just have to look at it a couple times. It's really cool how it comes together, but sometimes you gotta let your mind get there. All right, stitch this on here. think I'm gonna need to change my needle. My thread is shredding. And sometimes I forget like how much I actually sewed with the same needle. So I'll do that in a minute. All right, so now you have this like this. Okay, so now what you can do, or what you're gonna do, sorry, is you're going to fold this lining piece this way. You're going to press, and you can kind of go from the back too, and you can clip these in place just so they pull. And we are going to top stitch on both sides. Now you might not catch the lining, and that's fine because it's just going to fold over. You actually don't want to catch it. And then on this side, we don't have that lining piece clipped, but you can kind of just reach under and give it a gentle tug. And when I say gentle, if you pull too hard, it's going to cause the vinyl to shift. So be mindful of that. You just want to keep it out of the way. So there, both sides are top stitched. We didn't catch that because that's going to then go down there. Okay, so I'm going to use a little bit of double-sided tape here just to help keep this down. When we put the strap connectors on, it's going to stitch these pieces down. So that there, and then put this here. You could tape it down, but we're going to be stitching. I'll just go ahead and put a teeny piece of 1/8 inch tape on both sides just to keep it from shifting. Oh, my bad. We also have to sew this together real quick, which I might have made difficult with taping the bottom, but that's okay. I'll make it work after I struggle with my tape. There we go. All right, so you just want to lay that flat, and then we are stitching right here. Just at the bottom. Okay, go ahead and tape that back down. Right. And then you can trim excess off here. Okay, so this is technically the back panel. If you wanted to make it the front, there's nothing saying you can't. If you want to take and do this on both sides, you also can as well. Okay, now we are ready for our handle connectors. And we're going to need our rectangle rings. And then we will also need that back panel that we just did and our front panel. And then I'm going to grab my little nameplate too, because I know I'll be doing that once I get these handles on. Too much tape. All right, just set that there so I don't forget it. Okay, if you haven't already, you need to draw a line down the center, and we are going to use some tape. So I'm going to do one, and then I'll come back after the other 3 are done. It's just really repetitive. So you're going to take the tape off and fold into the centers. The vinyl I'm using is pretty thick, so I might need to use some clips to help keep it pressed together. So just throw a couple clips here. All right, so we have this, and then we're going to fold the top down and put that connector on, and there is a measurement. We want, okay, sorry, I'm just going to put that at the point. Okay, and you're gonna want this to be even on both sides. You can put a little piece of tape there too if you want, and then you want to check that your connector now measures a certain length. All right, so like I said, I'm going to repeat this on the other 3, and I'm gonna go ahead and change my needle as well, and I'll be right back. I have all of my connectors prepped. So I had made a mark and folded down so that they were all even. There's a little bit of tape under here, and then I also put 1/4 inch double side tape on each. I have my front and back exterior panels. I marked the centers, and then measuring from the center, there is a measurement for the handles in the pattern. And then we are going to stick these on and line them up. I'm gonna hope that these stay together now, because I need to line this all up. Okay, so I'm just using this ruler so that I can make sure everything is straight. Hang on here, take this tape off. All right, so I'm just lining it up with that, lining the bottom up, and then making sure that this is straight and in place. Gonna do that over here on the next one. It's just important that you make sure that it's all lined up straight. You don't want a crooked handle. And as I say that, I make it shift. It's fine. All right. So eyeball that. think it looks good. Can kind of take and measure. Yeah, all right, it is centered. So what we're gonna do is we're going to stitch these on. I like to start here at the bottom. Also, I did change my needle. Like I said, this glitter vinyl is pretty thick, so I definitely knew I was going to need it. But we're starting at the bottom and going up. There is not a measurement for sewing up. What you're going to do is you're going to get as close to your hardware as you comfortably can. So that's probably all the closer I think I can comfortably get. And then we're gonna add just a little bit of back stitching right underneath the hardware. And if you're too close to the hardware, you can take and put a little piece to protect your vinyl if you need to. And get back to the bottom. All right, something I want to do, because I want to make sure mine are all even, is I'm going to measure from like my fold to where I was at. So it looks like I got about 7/8 of an inch from that fold. And I'm just going to mark that with a removable pen because I want to try to start and stop at the same point. Donut just brought me a little squishmallow. If you hear him meowing. Okay, so looks like that is gonna be even. And then there is that. So you can add, all right, let me get my marks off there. You can add a rivet here if you would like. It is optional. Or even, are mine not even? I feel like in my head they're not even. You could add a rivet right here or right here if you want. I'm undecided. I need to think about it. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put this other panel together. All right. So once again, just lining everything up. Giving it a press down. All right. I'm going to do my little measurement so I can try to keep my stitches even to the front. Okay. Looks like I'm going to be right under here, but the important thing is that we're stitching the pocket closed here. So I don't know if you can kind of tell that is going to close that. So just make sure the pocket is laying flat and hasn't shifted before you start stitching. I think I do want to rivet. Now, the pictures in the pattern has, oh yes, also you can check now that this is closed. So everything is nice and closed there. It's really fun little pocket. Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead and rivet above my stitches because I didn't stitch that close to my hardware, so it kind of leaves all that. So I'm just gonna rivet right above it. My rivet will probably touch my stitches or be right over it, and that's fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and I'll be right back. Now we have the front and back main exterior panels done. We can move on to finishing the rest of the exterior. Real quick before I do anything else, I wanted to do my handles. So I'm going to put I will. I'm gonna put double-sided tape down the middle. I'm going to fold in both sides. I'm going to fold in again, and then I'm going to top stitch around those. And I'm gonna go ahead and just take care of that and then come back. George helped me prep a couple extra things. All right, so like I said, I folded the strap handle pieces into the center and folded that again, and then I top stitched all the way around. This vinyl is pretty thick, but it'll be nice handles. Excuse me, George. And then I decided I might as well get my crossbody strap out of the way. So I'm using this chevron like woven webbing, and what I did was I folded it over about 3/4 of an inch and wrapped it around my slide piece, and then I fed a clip in, went back over and under this bar, and then put the other clip on the other end, once again folding over and sewing, and that's nice and secure, so that's ready for when the bag is finished. And I went ahead and put my purse feet on my bottom panel. I went 1.5 inches in from the corners and then found centers for the 5th foot. So that'll be nice sturdy base. Okay, we are ready to do our side panels. So we need our 2 D-rings, our D-ring connector pieces, our side accents, and our side panels. Now I went ahead and marked the centers on these 4 pieces because we're going to be folding into the center. All right, George, love you. Need my table back. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put tape down the center of these pieces because I'm going to be folding the edges in to the centers. I'm going to go ahead, just get that on all 4 of these to start. Okay. All right, for the connector pieces, we're going to take the tape off, fold into the centers, and then we are going to top stitch. On the edges. You don't have to go around, but we just need the long edges stitched. Alright, and then we are going to take these, and I'm just getting these kind of bent. Alright, there is a mark we're going to make from the end on both of these, and I'm doing this on the wrong side. Okay, and then we want to take our D-ring, or you can have a triangle, and we're going to fold down to that mark. And then we're going to baste that together. So do that on both. All right. Now we are going to find the center of our side panels. All right. I'm gonna need this on the front. Okay, got that, and then I'm going to put a small piece of tape on here. All right, we are laying this down, it looks like this way onto it instead of this way, and we are going to mark down and place that, and then we're going to stitch it on. So I'm going to take a tiny piece of tape. Every time I say I'm going to use tape for literally any part, I just think about how I used to hate using it. And I'm like, if old me was watching my video, I would laugh at myself probably. Anyways, this is just going to help keep it in place. And I don't know that I'll be stitching through it, but if I do, it is what it is. All right, so I'm just measuring my placement. And then we want all right, so we are measuring and then putting the bottom of the connector. Okay, hang on here. I gotta actually mark it. Thought I could be wise and just place it, and it's not going well for me. Okay. Try this again. All right. So if I have this centered, then I have the bottom, and I tried to make sure that my mark was straight, and then I'll just double check. So I'm looking at this. They look nice and straight. All right, we are gonna stitch around here to hold these in place. These get stitched a couple times. It is a cool little way they go together to really secure that crossbody strap. Just making a mental note to myself that I will finally have a tailor tote, a Mr. Heckles, and an everyday tote all together at the same time, that I can do a real fun comparison of them each at their 100% sizes. And I am so excited to do that now. All right, so we've got those in place. Now we can go ahead and work on this piece. So this is just like an accent panel that will go over this. So we're going to fold in to the center. On both sides. Okay, flatten that. This hides your connector piece, and then also the stitch at the top is just one more extra layer of stitching, keeping that in place. All right, pop a piece of tape on here just to hold it in place. Okay, and then there is a measurement for this, so let me mark that real quick. Maybe. I barely marked it, but it's gonna show, so. Right. Make sure that it is straight. Okay, and I'm gonna tape the other one down also. Also, I'm so sorry if I'm like putting this in the camera. Just really trying to preserve the pattern knowledge by not showing you where I'm placing it on the ruler. Okay, and then you can kind of get rid of any marks that are there, and I'm just going to make sure that they are even. Okay, now we're just going to stitch around. And when you're going over this piece, you are going to have some bulk. So really, if when you get here, you need to use like a hump jumper, by all means, go for it. I tend to use 1-inch rulers a lot. And then once you've done that, you can go ahead and trim any excess off. So I'm just going to repeat on the other side. When you do the center of the bottom, I didn't go slow last time and it almost pushed my stitches off because of the bulk next to the needle or the presser foot. So I went slower that time and it definitely made a difference. So gonna use my ruler again. And trim off excess. And this is another spot that you can put a rivet. I am going to do that, so I will just put my rivet right here centered. It goes into, let's see here. Yeah, so if I rivet in the center, it's only going to catch one layer of that connector. If I put it up higher, it would go through all of the layers. So really that is your choice. All right, I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. I ended up going for the center. Was a little sad putting a rivet right in the middle of that rose, but it is what it is. All right, so now we're gonna have our two side panels, our exterior center pieces, and our exterior bottom. So these are all of the pieces to finish the exterior. There are a couple of tricky parts here, but we will get through them. Okay, so we're gonna take one of the exterior sides and either the exterior back or front. Really, it's up to you. And we are going to line them up on the sides, right sides together. And then we are going to stitch together those two pieces. Okay, now we're going to press that open, and the seam allowance goes to the center panel, so the exterior back or front. And you're going to top stitch through the exterior back or front. And then we are going to repeat this until we have all the pieces together. So we could just go ahead and do these two pieces now. The order's kind of up to you. The very last stitch is going to be a little bit awkward. It's doable, but just keep that in mind because you have all the pieces together and you still need to do the top stitch. Looks really nice when it's done, so as usual, it's worth it. Okay, so once again, opening that to top stitch. My foot came off. I don't know why, but this comes loose all the time. And I don't know that it's just me not tightening it enough. Anyways, top stitch. So now we need to put one or the other side, either way, putting all these pieces together. I cut this a little crooked apparently. So I'm gonna flip it over to sew it because the other piece is straight. It happens. Okay, I can also hear my bobbin starting to run out. For some reason I went a little crooked there. It's all right. It will be fine. Okay, so now we've got this whole big piece and we have to top stitch. It's starting to come together and it's so good. I'm so excited. Okay. So we have this big long piece and we're going to match up the last two sides together. And stitch. Come on. Okay, this is the one that in order to top stitch, it is a little awkward. So we're going to fold that And then you kind of just have to be able to move it out of your way towards you to start. So it's a little hard starting your stitches, but you can kind of just push it to see as far as you can. You kind of have to, I'm sorry if my head like starts to get in the way, but you just have to bend everything to be able to see. And then you might need to just like kind of lean back and look from the inside. Whatever you have to do. Woo, we made it. All right, and then however you need to slide it out of the way. I thought I trimmed the thread and I didn't. Okay, so we got that. This is what it looks like right now. So exciting. All right, we are going to take the base and put it right sides together with one of these sides, and we are matching up here. We're gonna clip it together and sew. Okay. Now we're going to top stitch, and we are top stitching on the side panel and the seam allowance. So this is, again, a little awkward also, more so when we get to the other side, but it's worth it. Okay, now we're going to match up the other side to sew it. However you need to fold it to sew it. And then once again, we need to fold this to top stitch, and it's another kind of awkward placement to stitch. Not really as bad though. All right, almost done with the exterior. Now we get to match these sides up, and I have my centers marked. Okay, it's a little awkward. Don't worry, we're not top stitching these sides. And then it should line up perfectly. I'm using a lot of clips. Just really want it to hold. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and stitch from this side. I think maybe this way. All right. Just taking my time because I don't want anything to shift on me. Also checking my bobbin as I go. And I am stitching until I get to the other stitch line for the base. Okay, gonna repeat on the other side. I feel like this side is easier to clip because everything is a little bit more structured at this point in place. Okay, now we can stitch that. It's a little hard to get it in place to start. Again, I used a vinyl that was pretty thick, so your materials likely will be more pliable. I don't regret it. I just have to fight with it a little bit. All right, I also need to use my screwdriver, just trying to keep my layers in place a little bit better. So that side did shift on me a little bit. Just gonna look at it. I think it's fine. No one will be able to tell. All right, we're not gonna trim anything down, but this is our exterior and we can go ahead and set it to the side for now. All right, we're gonna work on the interior now. And to start that off, we have our two pieces for our slip pocket, and we want to put them right sides together. Okay. I think I also probably want to change my bobbin. It had a bit, but also I just don't trust it. Okay, so we're gonna line up these two pieces. And clip them together on the long ends. And again, right sides together. And we are going to stitch the top and bottom edges. I thought I might have been able to start the other end. All right. And then we're going to turn this right side out. So just reach in, grab and turn. Depending on your material, you can press with an iron. If not, just finger press. And then you're going to top stitch one edge. If you are using a directional print, you're going to top stitch the top. I tend to do like a little finger press and then just clip as I go to hold it in place. Okay, I'm gonna top stitch this side and then I will flatten the other. Sometimes I think I held my threads and apparently I didn't. Okay, so now we can get that, flatten it. All right, we need to grab one of our main exterior pieces. I'm sorry, a lining main. And put that right side up. Gonna need to find your center. Okay. So with the top up, also, come on. Okay, you're gonna want this to be even, and we are going to mark in the center. Line, and then we're gonna go 6 inches out from that on each side, and we're gonna make another mark on each side. And This is to divide this pocket. If you don't want to divide it in these spots, you can do it a different way. But we're going to be stitching the sides down, so around the edges, and these three. Something you do is you go down, go up, and kind of like up and down. I think I'm gonna do that actually. All right. If your pocket doesn't completely go to the edge, like mine really doesn't, that's okay, because we are going to have that seam allowance to take care of that. All right, so going up this line, and then just a little back stitch back down. You could put like little pen pockets. All right, along the bottom until we get to the center. Going back up. And then again, a back stitch, back down, across the bottom again, back up, back stitch, and down. The way I did it, where I go back and forth, up and down, just really makes it so you don't have to like do new stitches and start and stop. All right, so we got those on there, nice divided pocket. We are going to set this piece to the side for a moment, grab our other interior lining piece. I'm really bad about knowing the front and the back of these. Okay, and then we need our zipper overlay, our smaller zipper, the two lining pieces for it, and our zipper pull. All right, and then we're gonna need tape. So you're gonna go ahead and tape on the overlay. This is also a really good spot for a woven label. So I'll grab one of those. Don't really know what I want to use. Let's see. I got some new. Sometimes I'm like, I use so much black and pink that I want just those colors. What is this one? I can see it. Where is it? Oh, I was like, I like the unicorn. I don't like the keep on dancing. Huh. Sometimes I look in at all of my labels and I just get overwhelmed. I need to sort them. My friend offered to organize them and it would give her joy. So I'm gonna let her do that. All right, I'm just gonna go with a logo tag, but you know, I looked. We're gonna do one of my white logo tags. All right, so we're gonna take the tape off the back of this overlay. Ooh. Okay. And then there is a measurement to put this at. All right, that looks like the back. All right, here we go. So if that is my center, looks like that should do it. All right, and then I'm going to lift up right here to put my woven label in. Maybe centered and straight. Just one of those days apparently. All right, and then we're gonna stitch around the outside. All right, I'm keeping my thread tails long. So that I can pull them to the back. Zipper pull's just going for a ride. Okay, I'm just pulling the first stitch through and knotting it before I get back to there. That way that thread is out of the way. Okay, and then we are going to start cutting this out. I just like to turn it over so I can see the zipper overlay before I start cutting. So you're going to want to make sure that you have just the lining. You do not want to cut into that overlay. And we are cutting out like up to the tape. Basically, you just want it to be out of the way so that it won't show. And again, we are only cutting the lining. We're not cutting the overlay. If you cut the overlay, you're probably going to have to start over, unfortunately. Okay, so that is cut out now, looking cute. We're going to go to our zipper and the lining pieces, and you're going to want to put the zipper face up with the right side up of your lining piece, you can tape or clip or just hold it in place. Okay, and then we're going to stitch those together. Okay, and then you're going to fold the seam allowance over so that the zipper lays flat, and you're going to top stitch that down. My stitches are never straight for this, but no one's gonna see it. It's inside, hidden. As long as you stay on this side, you're good. All right, and then we are going to put that right side up with right side of the other lining piece up. And we're gonna repeat those 2 stitches we just did. And looks a little off center, but that's fine. Okay. This top stitch, I think, is a little bit easier because you can pull everything easier with the 2 pieces. Okay, so now we need more tape. Just gonna use my 1/8 inch tape. And then I like to personally stand up for this part. And we are going to line up our zipper. And you just want to make sure that everything is as straight and even as possible. Don't be afraid to readjust as needed. All right. And now I'm going to put my zipper pull on before I go any further. If you're feeling brave, you can start stitching before you put it on, but that's up to you. When you put the pull on, just make sure you only put it on as far as you need to. Okay, so I'm just gonna gently push that until it's just inside and make sure that it's straight still. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start stitching like right here, stitch around, and once I get here, I'll move the zipper and finish. And then I had nice straight zipper without the bump for all of my stitches. I am also going to leave my thread tails long to pull them to the back again without back stitching. gonna move my zipper, and I'm also going to pull those threads to the back and knot them before we get back there. Anytime you're doing any of this stuff, you just want to make sure that your needle is down if you're lifting the presser foot. Can't see, and my threads weren't as long as I would have liked. All right, got it. Okay, now we can finish our stitches. And then just like to trim those. We're gonna fold this down, line it up, and trim off the excess. And we're gonna keep the bottom open for turning, and I like to fold this up. Okay, now we're just gonna stitch the sides closed. So you'll fold the lining over. And repeat that on both sides. Okay, now we've got that pocket done, and you can take where that's folded and flip that open like that. All right, leave your zipper open. We're gonna do the recessed zipper panel now, so you need those 4 pieces, your zipper, and the zipper pull for that. I also have a zipper end cap hardware ready. Okay, I'm gonna take and fold down my sides. Sometimes it takes a minute. All right, there's one. You just want to hit that with heat a little at a time and then press. You don't want to burn yourself, but wow, that was the quickest I've ever done that. Usually the second side is so much harder for me. Oh, 'cause I always do it backwards. Okay. It was started though. It's fine. All right, you can take like a clip and hold it in place too. That helps me. All right. Not 100% even, maybe off by 1 tooth, but I'll take it. Okay. We're going to mark each end of our tabs. Our tabs are our zipper panel pieces. I don't know why I called them tabs. Okay. You want to do this on the wrong side of your material. And then I like using tape to help me fold the ends in. So I'll just put some right before the line on each piece on each end. Okay. And then I'll remove the tape and fold those in. And repeat on the other side. Come on. Pink on pink. It's not easy to see. And then can just pull those apart. Okay, now we are gonna take, and let me see if I cut these. I don't think I cut these. I did. Okay. I don't think it really matters because I don't think you'd be able to tell, but I want my zipper to be like this. So I'm going to fold down on this piece and then I'll just lay that where I know. I like to start with my teeth right where that seam is. Going to clip this together. You could baste the zipper on if you want. I'm going to go ahead and take my lining piece, put it right side down. So you have the exterior right side up, zipper right side down, lining right side down. Then we will stitch that. Make sure you backstitch at the start and the stop. And then you'll fold this right side out. And I like to clip it all together on the edges. We're going to be stitching all the way around, so it'll close this and keep it together. And it will also top stitch the side with the zipper. But I like to just clip this. And then I'll start my stitching down this side. Alright, and then on this side, if it isn't flat enough, you're just going to want to gently tug. If you are tugging on the zipper, just make sure that you are evenly tugging the whole way, or it's going to end up wavy. And then we're going to repeat everything we just did on this side. Okay, I said I wanted to go like that. So what I like doing is I like going to the end without the fold over and lining this up and starting there. And I just find that that helps me make sure everything is even, because if down on the folded end it doesn't match up 100%, I'm able to adjust. And it will still all be right. Yeah, so right here, that all matches up. All right, zipper sandwich again. We have reached the point of the day where the sun comes in my window directly on everything I'm working on. All right, stitch that together. Right, this side is easier to pull for the top stitch because you have all of this on the side to work with. I just love how tiny this recessed zipper pull is. Or panel, not pull. I'm saying all the wrong zipper words today. I apologize. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put my zipper pull on. I'm also gonna mark the side that the zipper teeth are up higher on, just in case I need to take this off or it comes off. All right, so yeah, pretty good. So cute. All right, we need to find the centers of this. All right, there are instructions to put a zipper tab on if you need on the end. All right, we are going to take, excuse me, the lining main that has the zipper pocket. And we want our recessed zipper panel to lay so that both zippers are closing the same direction. And find the center, clip it down. You can baste it if you'd like. But I'm just gonna go ahead and grab the lining top. And this is slightly angled, so you want to make sure you have the right direction. Fold that down. I like to line up the edges first, then just kind of pull so I know it's centered, and then transfer these clips. All right, we're gonna stitch that together. Little back stitch, doesn't hurt on the zipper panel. All right, and then we are going to fold all of this up. We want the seam allowance to be to the bottom, and we're going to top stitch. This is going to create a perky zipper because it's going to push it up. And then we're going to repeat on the other side. So that lining face up, zipper panel face up, find your centers, baste the zipper on if you'd like. Otherwise, grab that zipper panel, or I am just making up words. Grab the lining top and line it up just like we did on the other side. Okay, same thing, making sure it's centered. Okay, and then we will top stitch under the zipper panel. So my seam allowance is going to the bottom lining. So this is what we have. We're going to line these panels up. I'm going to take this zipper end and just clip it down like that. It's going to keep it to the inside. But we're going to line up the sides. Just gonna go ahead and line up both sides. I'm gonna move this pole a little bit so it's definitely out of the way. All right, and then we're going to stitch those together. Okay, that clip I put in to keep the zipper out of the way is a little bulky, but at least I know the zipper's out of the way. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and remove it. All right. Okay. So now we're going to repeat steps we did to attach the lining bottom panel to the lining main panels. But then we're going to leave one side of the bottom open. Also, it says you can press open your side seams. Just kind of going to let them chill for a second. All right, so the lining bottom to the lining side. It says to repeat the steps, so that would include top stitching. I'm gonna say top stitching the lining is optional. I'm not gonna do it. make sure that the seam for the side is butterflied open. Like that. And then go to the other side and do the same. Went to flatten it and just completely took the clip off. All right. Right here is going to be harder because of the pocket. So I'm just going to clip there so this folds open easier. And then I'm going to stitch that. Okay, now we're gonna leave one of these sides open. I find for myself it's easier to leave the side open that isn't on the same side as the zipper so that I can pull it through easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the side that has the zipper pocket. So what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna use this big opening to turn the bag right side out, and then we will pull it back through that pocket to close the bottom, and then we will close the zipper pocket. If you wanted, you could start the sides, but truly you can close the whole bottom through that pocket. Okay, we're going to take the lining and turn it right side out, which actually makes the lining inside out, but you know. Okay. Yeah, and this is where I could go ahead and take that zipper pull off and put it back on later. All right, and then we're going to grab our finished lining or exterior, and I like to take and look, this is the front of my bag. I want my zipper to close this way. So I have the end of my zipper, and I'm going to line that up so that it closes on that side. I'm going to tuck in everything, and then we're going to, I'm going to do these little snips like I had done at the bottom. And we're going to take the center. I have a center mark on the exterior. I'm going to fold that open, and I'm going to just start clipping this together, and then I'm going to go to the other side, do the same thing, find that center mark, start clipping. Okay, we definitely want to make sure that we have this zipper panel folded down. So reach in and fold that out of the way. Otherwise, you're going to end up stitching into that and you're not going to be happy. All right, and then you can, from there, clip as you go. All right, zipper out of the way. Okay, sometimes I like to just give a little tug. Like I'll even put a clip in the middle and tug, and it's going to slide it a little bit if needed. If it doesn't line up perfectly and it seems like the lining might be a little saggy, just keep working clips in and it will all work out. I have taken on other bags and stapled a couple spots just to make sure nothing shifted. There's also no shame in using as many clips as you want. Okay. We are going to stitch this all together. And thankfully it is a nice big opening. Just take your time as you go, and I'm just kind of holding this so it doesn't hit parts of my machine, and to keep it like a big opening. And then I'm making sure that my lining seam is still butterflied open when I get to it. You don't have to worry about exterior seams because we already top stitched all of those down. Just again, really taking my time. Okay, so I am kind of getting to where my lining is slightly bunched, but if I tug a little bit, it is fixing that. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. And that just happens a little, like when you are fusing your interfacing like to your exterior vinyl, if you use materials like similar to what I did, it can shrink a little, so it is fine. So that's what that looks like. I'm gonna reach in, and here is that big opening. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the bag right side out. All right, we have arrived at the most exciting point. We get to finish the bag. So I have flipped it right side out, and I thought I was going to be like, I was going to whine or whatever. I thought I wanted to do this on my cylinder arm. I just really like top stitching on my cylinder arm, okay? But with the water resistant canvas and the vinyl, truly it is not bad. And the way that you top stitch these, everything feels nice and smooth. Like your lining seams are on a 1-layer vinyl spot, and then there's no lining seam where you have these other layers. It is pretty cool. So we're gonna reach in and pull that pocket, and then we're going to reach in to the lining that's in there, and we are going to line up that final seam. You might need to work it a little bit, but you should be able to start clipping that together. Maybe start at both ends. I didn't mark my centers, I don't think, but that's okay. This pocket is a little stiff, but we are just going to give that a tug. And then we'll stitch that closed and pop it back in. The cool thing about the lining and the exterior on this bag is you do them at the same seam allowance because there are separate pieces. So you don't have to worry about taking your seam allowance in. Okay, caught my thread. It's pulling, there we go. Alright, and then we can go ahead and push that in. So now our lining is closed, and then we can go ahead and close this zipper pocket. And if you want, you can put a woven label in right here. It's a nice spot for them also. I think I'm gonna actually skip this time because I already put my logo one where you could see it better. And then you're just going to stitch this closed. Feel like my bobbin is maybe getting close to being done, and I'm about to top stitch, but truly I know I have enough to go around here. I have to. It's not like curly yet, you know, when the thread starts to curl. All right, so we're going to push this pocket in, and you want to just push the corners in, lay that flat. You can go ahead and close that, and then we need to tuck everything back in here. Okay, and then going to clip. So I do not want to flip my bag inside out 2 more times to top stitch this, and I am going to do it on this machine, but because this is such a wide opening, I can still top stitch from the outside. You just kind of have to manipulate it a little bit. So I'm gonna do that. This is so cute. I love like black with pink accents and like this black and white rose print. It's called chalkboard roses, but with the pink accents and the white glitter, oh, so good. I love it. Okay, I am going to just make sure that everything is rolled down. Okay, so I want to start on the back, and I'm also gonna go almost to a 5 for my stitch length, and basically I'm just going to pull this like it's not going to be the most graceful, but we can do it, I think. Just gonna have to keep some stuff out of the way too, like zipper tape. Okay, got this. So I'm gonna start there, and then as I go, I'm just gonna feel that I'm not going to stitch into anything. All right, you're gonna want to make sure your connectors are out of your way, and I'm just bending the bag as I go. Okay, I'm glad I started on the back too. Wasn't anticipating the connectors trying to like mess with the foot. All right, so definitely make sure your needle is down before you adjust. My clips are also popping off. It's fine. Maybe I should have flipped it. It's fine. I've got this. Just really making sure that I adjust as I go and take my time. All right, nothing under. Now this is the front, so I want to extra make sure I think we have maybe 1/4 left. All right, needle down, adjust. Yeah, the clips just haven't wanted to stay where I had them. That's okay. As long as I'm holding it down before I get there. Almost done. Okay, making sure that the zipper tape is out of the way, and then I like to trim my threads that are hanging before I get back to my starting point. All right, we did it. Think it's good. Be really upset if I like flip it over and I stitched something wrong. Jinx myself. Alright, so I'm just gonna make sure everything is popped out and sitting nicely. Oh my gosh. Alright, we're going to put our zipper pull back on and put the zipper end on. So I had marked which side was the higher side for the teeth. Okay. And then do I want that to be that long? Probably not. I think I'm gonna trim a tiny bit off. Okay, that's where I started. Yeah, that top stitch looks really good everywhere. All right, I'm just gonna take maybe like 3/4 of an inch off of that. And then some people like to glue their zipper ends. I don't. I feel like the screw really holds on there well. I haven't had a problem, but you're gonna take the end and wrap like that. You can use tape, which I usually do. Just feeling reckless today. But you're gonna push that in there and then make sure that it's folded nicely from the back. And also, I guess these zipper ends I use have really long screws. So that might be another reason why I feel like I don't need to glue it. So I'm gonna start it and make sure it's in a good place. And then finish putting there. And you see that moving like that? It's because that screw went through the layers. You could use an awl also before you put the screw in, and that can help. All right, so you can tuck that inside if you'd like. Now we just need to rivet our handles on. So I have a little tool I use, and I punch my holes. So I just line it up and punch my holes. And I always use the A and the C. This is from Jolie Creations. All right, so punch those holes. This was really thick vinyl too. I'm gonna do all 4 of those and then rivet the straps on, and I'll be back to show you the bag. All right, here is the finished bag. So I riveted on the handles and I put the crossbody on. It is adorable. I love it so much. I hope you enjoyed. If you didn't already subscribe, I would love if you did, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.